Hey guys, this is Vic from GraspingTheMarket and welcome to our market briefing. Today we had no further change in the larger time frame as we continue trading within the previous week range. However, on the daily, we saw a rotation back above the 3000 area, and as we said yesterday, now it's confirmation that the market is in a short-term balance range as we look here in this last 5 days cluster. Now, there is an interesting situation because if you look at the top of that 5-day balancing range at the bottom, there is no excess at all. That means that the odds are good that the market will trade at both sides of that cluster at some point. Having said that, let's have a look at the market profile. And here is a zoom in market profile view of that 5-day cluster. As you can see, the level at the top is weak, has been tested twice already, and the bottom, it is weak, it's been tested twice, but the important thing is that there's no excess, and actually yesterday's session had no excess at the low, today had only 2 ticks, and the previous 2 sessions came within 2 ticks or 1 tick from each other. So vulnerable structure on the way up, weak level at the high. That means that we can either break or we can return and take all this. Anything can happen. Now, looking at today's price action, we had an initial gap, which was closed pretty quick in the morning, but as you can see, there was support above yesterday's settlement. I don't have it here because I don't like having the overnight profile to avoid populating too much the chart, but we had a very prominent POC overnight, which was around this area, and that was the area where the support came. An interesting fact is that when we closed the gap and initially found support and the C period went back outside, it couldn't continue towards the high of the day at that time. And instead, the D period couldn't take the C high and dive back in, and we went back into the range. Now, at this point, I was looking and I was commenting with a colleague, if you have such excess at the top like you left on the A period, and you do this backing and filling on C and D, and you re-enter the range, that should guarantee an extension of the low. But you can see that after D came back inside, E and F had trouble extending below the low. In fact, F extended, found support, and took the E high. At this point, that was a good indication that the upside was really a good option. So whoever took the longs in the late E period, early F period, that was a fantastic trade. Now, towards the end of the session, we had positive developments on the trade front, and that created this late spike that took the high, created a double distribution, and we had a strong close at the top. Now, I did mention at the time that if this was meaningful, we kept the double distribution and we continue higher. That's exactly what happened. However, I need to point out that the high is poor. You have no excess, so you have an incomplete auction at the high, and it came within 1 handle, I believe, or a couple of handles from that weak balancing range high that we have. So that's strange that having such an amount of buying here and you extend and you're not able to take it, but let's take it with a pinch of salt. It was late. So the immediate focus for tomorrow is on value development relative to this upper distribution. If we get acceptance below that distribution and we close it, that will denote change, and it will increase the odds of the market continuing balancing in this wide range. However, any acceptance within or above obviously increases the odds of further upside. And let's remember that the all-time high made in the overnight session a few sessions back is not that far. It's only about 10-15 handles from where we are right now. So if we get acceptance and a move towards the high, there's a good chance that we're going for that all-time high level. As I always said, anything can happen because odds are just odds.